All right, can you hear me now?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Cool. All right, man. I was about to be like, yo, can you do a Zoom? And I'll just
You're about to give up on it, huh?
No. We were definitely gonna do this, right? Well, I guess I do gotta do some type of introduction. YouTube, what's up? This is your boy Wavy. I know this is my channel, Mr. Orchard Peace, but this is Peak Game. This ain't got nothing to do with no sneakers right here. But it can help you attain sneakers if you want. But you probably, when you walk away from this, you're probably gonna want to attain something else other than some joints that's gonna crack on you. You know what I'm saying? So there we go. So introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Anna Perriette, and I am a viewer of Mr. Wavy for a while now. And we have lots to talk about today. We have a nice conversation.
Tell me what you do and why was I interested in you?
I'm a credit repair specialist. I am a realtor, licensed realtor in New York. I know a lot of your viewers are from New York, right?
I think from like South Dakota.
That's so random. Maybe there's speakers over there. I don't know. I don't know what they do. And I am here because I reached out to him. You know, I slid in the DMs and about business. I talked to him about my credit repair services and how I would love to offer those to his viewers, to his loyal fans as myself. And we're here. I'm excited for this. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I look forward to it.
So what did you do first? You got into real estate first, or did you get into credit?
So I was in real estate first. I had a bit of a dramatic moment back a few years ago where I almost died. And I was like, Lord, give me direction. What do I do with my life? And so I decided to go into real estate. And that's what I did. I got my license. I went through the whole entire, shebang. I started out actually working in the Bronx. And then I moved upstate New York. So I was working there for a while. And I saw throughout the years, I had fixed like myself, my family's and friends' credit, some of my clients. So I saw that there was a need there. And when I moved here to Philadelphia, I didn't know anyone. And, I don't know if you know, but real estate is heavily based out on commission. So if you don't know anybody, you don't get a paycheck. So I was like, you know what? Let's do credit repair. Let's turn this passion into a business. That's exactly what I did. I went and, I registered my business, did the LLC, got insurance, all of it. And I've been helping clients get amazing results, reach their goals, personal and business wise, because I don't know if you know, but for you to develop business credit or anything like that is very much tied to your personal credit in a lot of ways, even though it's separate. So legally you're separate from it. But when it comes to building the business credit, then you have your personal credit gets pulled. So that's how it's like tied and separate at the same time.
Say like I have two LLCs, but one that I really mess with. I really don't know anything other than to say I got an LLC. Don't really know what it does. How do I get business credit?
There's something called Net 30 and this other, there's a bunch of other institutions. And then in your personal credit, really the one that gets pulled is your TransUnion for business purposes. It's one of them, depending on the lender. Some are going to do TransUnion, some are going to do Equifax, right? So it depends on the lender. So that's why it's heavily tied. Now, for you to start, you could start out the same way you would start with personal credit. You could start out with secured card or like with a smaller card that's, it's not the best one, the popping ones. Like it's not gonna be the Amazon that you're gonna jump into it right away. Maybe you'll start out with those small Office Depot, not even Office Depot, like those smaller little stores that you start out with like a really low balance, or you start out with secured card. I say like if you have $3,000 and you want to do it, go ahead and do it. So that's one way to start. So there is a few different ways that you can do it. And even there's other tactics for you to get business credit where you don't even have to necessarily utilize your own personal credit. So like one tip that some people don't know is, okay, so instead of doing an electronic application for business credit, you do paper. And in the paper, you just don't put your own social security number. So you put all of your personal information, but except for your social security. So you have a 50-50 chance that it's going to get approved or not. Right? So you're taking that chance. If you don't have great credit, then it might be worth it. You might get approved. or you might not. So there's a lot of different ways that you can go about it. You just have to kind of do your research or hire a professional to do it for you.
That's where you come in, right?
That's where I come in.
What services do you provide? Like, what do you have going on? I saw your website, I saw your social media, and I see that you got something popping.
All around services. Like my main target is for you to walk away much better financial standing than when you came to me. So for the most part, most people come to me for credit, right? Because that's the main issue. Like when you're like, man, I have this goal, I want to buy a house, or I want to get a better car, or whatever it is that you're trying to do. I'm trying to build a business, and you're tied because of your credit. You come to me, right? And then I go and I sit down with you and we do a financial analysis. We go over your debt. We utilize different techniques that we could do to lower your debt without driving yourself crazy. Like for instance, something really simple is called a Snowball Method. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
No, sorry.
Basically, just like a snowball, right? Just rotating your debt. So let's say you have 5 credit cards that you're in debt. Every single one of those, you pay the minimum. But whichever one has you owe the least, that's what you pay the most to. Until you do that every single month, you keep rotating until you get rid of that one. And then you continue to the one that has the least amount, and you continue to pay the minimum on every single one of your card. You follow me?
No.
Instead of paying all of them at the, like doing minimum at the same time, you just trying to knock one away, like
Exactly.
one, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So let's say one you owe 2,000, one 3,000, one 500, one 200. So you pay the minimum on all of them, and the one that you owe 200, that's the one that you're gonna pay 150 on. Let's say. And the following month you do the same, you knock it out, you continue on to the next one, follow up that has the least amount.
I got your money. I got your Paul. Measly $27 interest.
This is one simple way to do it. Or, suggesting, really looking at your finances, like you really don't have the money. So what do you do when you don't have the money? You have to get a second job or another source of income. So I just have that honest conversation with you. And sometimes as adults, it's really difficult to have those conversations. It can be very stressful. So most Americans, what they do is they ignore it, or they go into bankruptcy, which to me is, I do bankruptcy removal, by the way. Like I help people remove it off the credit report. But to me, it's not the best option unless it's like dire, like you really don't have any other option. But I feel like there's always other options. And also, I advise you on how not to get yourself in that situation. There's different techniques, like calling your lenders. Hey, I can't make the payment this month. Can you lower my interest rate? Can you move my payment day, my due date? Like there's a lot of ways, and most lenders, to keep you as customers, they're willing to work with you. But you have to pick up that phone call and, be honest.
Yeah. What actually got me to DM you back was, remember the conversation that we had like 2 weeks ago? Because I was always stuck with I don't have bad credit at all, but I play this credit card game where it's like, if I see that they're giving me $200 same as cash and then doing like 15 months, a 15-month 0%, I'm slow rolling. I'm gonna slow roll. All those slow roll credit cards that I did have, I forget, it's nothing crazy, but I was like, damn, I don't really need those anymore. But people were saying like, oh, that's really gonna damage your credit or whatever. And I ended up closing 2. But I contacted you and you was like, no, open it back, open that one, or try to open them both. Ask if there's a hard inquiry or not. The other one, it wasn't, but I think USAA, they was like, no, you canceled. You canceled. But they was trying to keep me.
It's amazing. It's an amazing credit union. But you gotta abide by the rules. That's the thing with credit unions. They're very stricter. So with that, you asked me the question, right? That's the question you wanted to know is, how many cards is too many cards? Yeah. In my opinion, there's no such thing. You could have 200 cards. Yeah, you could have all the cards that you want. And you're proof of that. You have an amazing credit score and you've been doing it throughout the years. You have been doing it intentionally. There's a difference between every single year you're getting 10, 15, 20 inquiries where you space them out, right? Because you're 35, 40 years old, 25 years old, and you started at 18 years old building your credit. All these cards, you built them throughout the years, right? So the inquiries only stay in your credit report for 2 years. After that, they fall off on their own. And by the way, I get rid of inquiries also. That's another thing. So there's ways to get rid of them. Now, you wouldn't get rid of an inquiry with an open account, because then what that lender is going to do is close your account. There is going to be fraud, right? Because you're fighting an inquiry for an account that's open and utilized. It doesn't make sense, does it? But for an account, let's say that you've done the hard inquiry, you took the hardship, and you didn't get approved, then we could work at getting that removed. But there isn't such thing as having too many cards. Have all the cards that you want. Just do it smart and do it like you've done it. You've done it throughout the years. So every time there's an offer, take advantage of the offer. Now, to keep those accounts open, you have to utilize them at least at the bare minimum every 6 months, if not like quarterly, like every 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, even if you use $5 on it. So that's where it becomes difficult, where it's like you would have to make like a spreadsheet or something just to remind you, like, let me use this card now. Let me, pay gas on this month or this week. So that, because then the lenders, if you don't utilize them at all, then they close them.
Okay,
so
I'm glad that you brought that up though, because remember when we had that conversation, you said that, and I was going to ask you that question again, just to put it out there for anybody that's like in my position that needs to know that, because those cards, it's some that probably they're expired. I probably need to call and ask them to send me another one just so I can swipe and get like some gum or something. But like every 6 months, right?
At least every 6 months, $5. Okay. So since you have, do you know how many you have currently right now?
Man, that's my business.
I'll say 7. Just let's say 7.
Oh, that's nothing.
Okay, cool.
I know people in my industry that have like 50 cards,
Okay. I ain't trying to get that crazy. But
you can, right?
Yeah.
Because if you think about it over time, if you do that whole 6 months over the years, you're going to acquire that many. Every time you get those offers. But again, I 100 wholeheartedly say that you should, when you get those offers, take advantage of them. That's a free flight. That's a free whatever you use them for, pay down another bill. Or like, let's say somebody that's in a situation that can't pay their credit cards. Let's be smart. Let's roll over that debt, right? You pay it off interest free and you get rid of it. But you have to be smart. You have to face the situation head on and don't ignore it. Because the problem is when we start ignoring it and it gets stressful, then you're in a situation where you don't know how to get out of it. And I don't think you've ever been in a situation like that, but I can talk about that because I've been in a situation like that, with the whole COVID and we weren't allowed to show houses. So like I was paying my rent with credit cards and other stuff. Luckily now I've been able to, thank God, pay everything off. But what I did was call the credit cards. I called and I told them, I'm like, listen, lower my interest rate. I can't pay the bills. It's either I put food on the table or I pay your bills. What do you want me to do? So you have to pick up the phone call, pick up the call. When the pandemic first happened, we weren't allowed to show houses for like a long time. So imagine we couldn't do any deals. And a lot of the deals that I had on the contract were like stagnant, not going anywhere.
Damn.
This is another reason why like I'm really happy with this industry, because then and this is just for anybody that might be interested in getting into something like this. I'm also a homeschooling mom. I homeschool my kids from home. I told you about that, and I'm home with them all the time. And I'm able to do this from anywhere. So like you, I love going to DR, right? It's my home country. I love it. I wish do you ever plan on living there, by the way?
Hell yeah.
I want to buy an apartment.
I'm glad you said that. So it's so taboo when I've been asking, like, because I got a homeboy, like he's real into business as well. I have a property down in North Carolina. I got a farm and stuff, but I am looking to get like an apartment or something down there. But I just know how DR is with the whole tranquilo. I don't trust too many people to take care of, have my best interest in hand, down there. So that's the only thing that diverts me away.
Like your wife's family, you don't have anybody.
I didn't mean to look like that. It's not my family, or I just don't. I don't know.
I've always thought, like when I watched, I was like, what other Airbnbs that you've done, you could have,
Yeah. And I want to, but it's so taboo. When I ask people, I say, "Oh, how much is?" And it's just like this big, and then they give me the spiel about, all those Airbnbs that you're renting. Okay, cool. Yeah, and the house is made out of this. And how much? You know what I'm saying? How much?
If you want to do it in the capital, like you like what you say, you like El Este, right? I think it's the area that
it's cool there, but like say like just for like a say I want to do an Airbnb, I'm cool with Esther. But like me, a house, I want to be out of the whole hustle and bustle. I want to be.
Have you been to Samana, like Las Terrenas?
No, I haven't. I've seen that you. Yeah, the beach that you was on. That joint looked nice. I haven't been there.
No, you have to, what? You have not. No. That's a no. This service to you.
Yeah.
You have to go there. You have to go to Las Terrenas. I mean, it's amazing. To me, that would be an area that I would love to live in. It's like summer high, so calm. It's so safe. It's like one of the safest places in DR in general. You know, then you get the countryside, you get the beaches. So I'm thinking for like a 3-bedroom for you, maybe 120, like something nice up in the hills.
Okay, now how do we go with the whole creditor? Is this some Dominican company I'm going through, like with the whole credit, or am I going?
So you go to like Asociación Popular, you know, like the big bank. H, what was the other one? H something. H.
I know the Banco Popular. I know that one.
Your next trip, you go over there, open up a checking account. Start with that. Start building that relationship over there. So what they're gonna need is, because I tried opening one, and then like I have dual citizenship, and even with having dual citizenship, they ask me for the same things that they will ask you. So they asked me for like the pay stub, a letter from 2 different people, like stating your character. That's a, you know, they do things differently. And what else? And like proof of, you know, your money pretty much. So that's all you'll need. And then your passport, and you'll be able to open an account over there. Okay. So start building that type of relationship. Do like a small savings account, maybe put like $2,000 on it, something like that. But you need to do that like yesterday. Like honestly.
Yeah, no, because I know a lot of Americans started coming over there, and they're gonna start really building.
Like now, I'm looking at properties over there at $300,000. I'm like, what? 5 years ago, that was for a mansion over there. For an apartment, $300,000. Like that's cheap here. Over there, that's expensive.
Yeah.
So this is the time to do it right now. I'm trying to get something. The one that I'm looking at is cheap. It's near the American Embassy. You know that area?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that area, they're opening a new development, and it's I think it's like $30,000. Yeah, like for 3 bedrooms. Yeah, and it's nice.
Yo, put me on game and put me on. Let me know.
I have people that are like, you know, on safe, honest. And I know the people that have bought for them. So you need to do it. Like,
I just want to be able to set eyes and take a look at something like that's for real. Like I've always wanted to, but it's just like taboo. Like, yo, I'll do it.
And why? Like, what's the fear? What's the holdup? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. There's literally thousands of people that do it every single year, and Americans do it all the time. Like, do you follow those like American YouTubers that move to like and all of that? Like,
TaylorMade. It's a couple other cats, but TaylorMade, because he gave the whole breakdown of what he was paying. Like,
and they have some like show the health insurance, like all this stuff. It's accessible. It's very accessible. It's not like, you know, I get a lot of the taboos where they come from, but I feel like DR overall, it has improved like as a nation in so many different ways. It's still a lot of corruption. It's still a lot of shitty, you know, I don't know if you curse in this channel, but you could.
No, you ain't allowed to do that. Chill out. No.
But you know, I feel like the law has gotten better over the years, and because there's so much exposure now, and social media, and everybody could be everybody could be reported, right? We couldn't all be reporters back in early 2000s. Like, not everybody had a phone with a camera. Now you could be a reporter. You can show what's going on. And I think you've done that. I love how you portrayed DR. You portray DR like as an American Dominican person, right? I grew up in New York. I love how you portray that, because you give us that you know, that craving that we have for DR, for the essence. You show it all. You show like the poppy side, and then you show like the other side, the wow, you know, the detail. So it's cool. It's really cool to watch. I love how you show that through your lens.
Appreciate
and I think over the years, how long have you been traveling to DR for?
The first time I went, it was 2010. But that was pre, like, that was none of that. It was just me, 2 homeboys. We went down there. Matter of fact, I'm trying to bring one of them the next time. But we was we didn't even know, we just knew we was in Santo Domingo.
You didn't know
we was in Naco. Now that I know we was like in kind of like the Naco area, Valentino Falcon or something. Like I just remember that area, and we had the same. This is crazy. We had the same routine every day. For lunch, we would go to El Chef, and for dinner, we would always go to Hooters. So then, when my cousin got married in 2013, we went from Punta Cana all the way to Santo Domingo. All like because I had a girlfriend at the time. Everybody was pissed. All like the wife of the wife to be, everybody was pissed. We was taking that 2.5, 3 hour to Santo Domingo. We went to Hooters, and that was just always a thing for me. And it was crazy that that's where I found my rib, in Hooters, like all of a sudden.
I know. That's like, it's just, I guess it was your calling. It was where you
yeah.
I love that you call her your babe. That's like so unique and so cute. It's really nice. I hope that we could debunk those taboos, and I would love to see that that process of you buying a property over there. I'm sure you're gonna show that people like
definitely. We do have to work on that. But look, because I'm having a good time, but I still need to make sure that you bring like what you're selling. I mean, not what you're selling, but what you're bringing to the table. I just need to get that to my audience because I'm getting too hyped and I'm forgetting that it's an interview. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get on the business. I'm gonna get on the realty side later. But look, so how does somebody go about inquiring about your services? Like, I'm gonna put up all your social media information and stuff, but how do they go about that, and what they gotta kick out, and how did that come?
All that good stuff. All right, let's go about it. So I show love to my veterans. I told you about my group. I have a really large group on Facebook. It's almost 90,000 members, and it's a Navy Federal group. So as an honor to that, I give veterans discount. To reach me out, you could call me or text me. This is probably gonna blow up, my number, so right. 917-551-0460, and you can call me and text me. My website is FINANCIALPLUGLLC.com, and my email is FINANCIALPLUGLLC@gmail.com. So those are the 3 ways you can contact me. When you go on my website, you can link right in there, booking a consultation with me, a free one-on-one consultation. I might start charging soon, just because like the volume is getting a little ridiculous, and then some people don't show up. So that, that's unfortunate. Like it messes others. So it's like, if my time is valuable. So if I have a schedule with you, I could be having it with somebody else, and then they don't show up. But when people pay, for the most part, they're gonna show up. So I might start charging soon, but right now they're free. One-on-one consultation for 30 minutes, and I just ask that you send me your credit report prior, so that we obviously have something to talk about, because what are we going to talk about for 30 minutes if not credit? Well,
DR,
right?
Yeah.
And those are the 3 different ways that you can reach me. So I'm very approachable. I am very diligent. I am just a phone call away with my clients. I know you wanted to know what are some stories with my clients. So some of the clients that I'm dealing with now is with bankruptcy removal. It's a huge thing. A lot of people with the financial crisis were left over with like horrors of financial standing. So they ended up going into bankruptcy. So I'm able to remove most things from your credit report as long as you follow all the steps. If you skip any of the steps, then what happens? It's like when you go to a doctor, right? And then your doctor gives his prescription and you don't listen to it. It doesn't work, right? So as long as you work with me, I work with you. Right now I have a flash sale for those that, this does not include those with bankruptcy and repossession removal, because those are a little bit more costly, a little bit more paperwork that goes into it. But my flash sale is $575 right now for up to 6 months of service. And you also have to pay for your credit monitoring that we need in order to see the progress and everything that's falling off and everything like that. Now, for regular services, the startup fee is $200 the first month. And then from there on, they could range from $100 to $150 a month, depending on what we need to work on. And then for my veterans, I have an 18% discount. And I also give a couples discount. So for 2 couples that sign up together, I give them a discount. My prices are very feasible. And it's an investment in you and your future and being able to reach your goals. Because imagine, I hope you get rid of a medical debt that you owe $5,000 on it. Really, if you do the math, like that's pennies to the dollars what my services cost and what it brings to you and your family.
Say somebody has a $500 credit score. I'm no 500 credit score. Is they come to you? Are they looking at the end of the 6? I know you're not a miracle worker, but is it like 750 after the 6 months, or that's pushing?
I don't pay attention so much to the credit score. And I know a lot of people are like into credit score. My focus is cleaning up your profile. So if your profile is like, it goes from 500 to 600, right? It doesn't even get to 700, but you have a clean slate, then with good work, you're able to get it to wherever you want it to go from there. Because I'm giving you a clean slate. And then one of the main things about credit, so I'll give you the imagery. I wish I could show it here, but it's like a circle, right? 30% goes into your payment history. The other 30% goes into the age of your credit. The other 10% goes into the inquiries, how many lines of credit you use. Yeah. And the rest is the types of accounts that you have. So if you have credit cards, you have revolving accounts like an auto loan or mortgage or personal loan or student loans. The mix of credit also accounts to it. So when I give you a clean slate, then you're able to do whatever you want with it, as long as you stay consistent, paying on time. The age is really important. I'm telling you, it's like 35%, 35%, I believe, 35% of your credit history. So that's really important. And that's the one thing I can't give you. I could get rid of like everything you've done, but I can't give you age. And that's why it's not really possible for you to jump from 500 to like 750 right away. But you could do it. There's people that have done it, because then when they have that clean slate, the sky's the limit after that. You do it responsibly and
Okay.
And something else that I know you wanted to go into, right? Because I can't give you that, but somebody can.
You know what I'm saying?
So let's talk a little bit about that. So what are your questions specifically to that? And what is it that you want to discuss right now? Let us know.
All right. Before I get into the underhanded or the clarity, I want two more questions. One thing about business credit that I wasn't like hip to. So say I got like just say, I told you my score. Say I got that score, but that doesn't mean that just because I go to some business credit, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, same score for you, right? No, right?
Say that again. I lost.
That's not just because I have regular credit at doesn't mean when I go get, and business credit doesn't mean that I get a business credit card from American Express. That doesn't mean business credit, right?
So you actually can, but your business credit is separate from your personal credit. So it's like I explained before, it's tied at the beginning when you're building it, right? Because you don't have a business credit history, they look at your personal credit to look at what kind of client you're going to be, right? This is what the lenders are going to look at.
Okay.
Now, once you have a business credit established, from there on, they run your business credit, right? So now, business line, they're going to be a lot larger than personal lines because you're doing it for the purposes of business, right? So if for personal line, you're getting a $7,000 credit limit, for business, depending on what kind of business you have, you could get a $30,000 or 40 or 50 or 150. I've seen people get $200,000, credit cards because they're for business purposes, right? So you're able to do what you need to do for your business purposes. Now, those credit cards, like the American Express has their own business cards, even like, let's say Navy Federal or USAA, they have their own business credit cards. So you're able to get set personal and business. Now, what's another benefit of having business credit is that if anything happens, you're not liable personally for that debt. Your business is. You're liable for your personal credit, but your business is liable for your business credit. So that's the purpose also of like building like an LLC. You get a lawsuit, you're not getting sued personally, your business is getting sued. So you have a protection there. With those large lines, there's a lot more you can do with 30,000 than you can do with 7,000.
Get the ladies some champagne. In fact, champagne for everybody.
My wife has no credit. I can make her an authorized user. And even if I don't want to give her, like, say, all right, because this is one thing, and it's going to tie into the lines that I was telling you about. But I heard that Amex isn't a good, like, you can't really use them on the whole lines type thing, to make people authorized users. Is that true or no?
This goes with any card. To build credit, what you have to focus on is, does the card report every single month to all 3 credit bureaus? As long as it reports, then there should be no reason why it doesn't work. So that's what you have to find out. Which card do you have? Does it report? And how does it report? Whatever card it is, Amex, or if it's like Citibank or Chase, whatever card it is, that's just what you have to look at. And yes, to build her credit, that's the best, fastest way to do it, is you put her as an authorized user, preferably whatever's your oldest card with the largest, credit line, and you leave it in there for a few months. She's gonna start getting her own offer, her own credit card offers, and then she begins building her own within. I've seen people, I'm not gonna say this is for everybody because everybody's different, right? But I've seen people within 6 months get to $700 credit score in, within 6 months, 7 months, 9 months, because they've used it responsibly. But you have to show utilization. So whatever that card is that you're putting her on, you have to use it for, because this is how credit bureaus. Okay, let me give you guys just a little small basis that most consumers don't know, right? How do credit cards make money? They make money off of the interest rates that you pay them, right? How do credit bureaus make money? Every time furnishers or lenders report on whatever it is, whether it's positive or negatively, they have to pay to report you to the credit bureau. So the credit bureaus charge credit cards, right? We following? Credit bureaus charge credit cards for them to report on you, on whatever activity is going on in your account. They charge them every single month. So therefore, this is how they both make money. The credit cards make money off of the interest rate, and the credit bureaus make money off of the reporting. Now, how do credit cards make more money? The worse your credit score it is, the higher the interest rate. So that's how they get to make more money. So they much rather report you negatively than positively. The credit card makes more money, the credit bureaus make more money, right? Do you see how it ties?
Yeah. Like with credit cards, I never, there's no, you're not getting that extra off me. I don't let them. I pay everything off. It's even to the point, because I've heard that you should always get that bill, see the bill, but I be sitting there at the 11th, 12th, man, damn, I just want to pay this off because I don't like looking at that I owe anything, Do
you monitor your credit every single month or no?
If I go on Wells Fargo or something, they'll send me my credit score, or if I go to Experian, they send me the 3. They'll show me the 3.
But you have excellent credit, right?
Excellent,
you're in the excellent bracket, right? So
8.
you don't you don't see much of a difference, right? Mm-hmm. You see maybe 1 or 2 points every month or something like that. Yeah. Now, let's say it's the opposite. Let's say you have 1 late payment. Do you know that these cards would, if they could find a way, or they will, bring it down 100 points for 1 late payment?
Yeah.
That would kill you, right?
Yeah.
Because they will bring it down 100 points. They will take advantage of that, especially somebody in the excellent, profile. Yeah. Going back to your question, they don't love you. Let's just say that the banks don't love you because you're not feeding them, because they're not. But that's not bad. That's not a bad thing. They don't have to love you. Why do you need them to love you if you already have great credit, right? You just keep doing what you're doing, and you're already doing great. The only thing I would suggest though is the ones that you have there, just utilize them once in a while and allow it to report. So you know that we have a reporting date and a due date, every single card. So the reporting date is when it reports to your lender that you utilized it, right? And then the due date is the day that you have to pay the credit card. So let's say you pay it off before the reporting day, it comes off like you never used it because they didn't get to report.
So that's why I shouldn't pay before. It's just, even though I'll be because on my Amex, that's the card I use the most, because I get all my points, and I'll be like, I just want to sprinkle it down a bit, just for peace of mind for me. But all right, cool. Now, you know what I want to get into now. So I was watching him 500.
This is very controversial. This is where we're about to touch on right now. It might end this very controversial. I told you briefly about it.
Yeah, you told me, it's kind of like cutting a wound and boom, 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 cutting a cut and putting a Band-Aid on it, and I just couldn't understand. It's not for me, I'm the cut.
I'm not looking at you because you don't need my services. I'm looking at people that are in this situation. Now, to me, there's pros and cons to to credit lines. This is what we're about to discuss. We're getting to that. So, and I think that was like the main thing that caught your attention was because you wanted to know more information about this. So this is my opinion as a professional in this field, right? Maybe there's gonna be people with different opinions, even doctors. There are doctors that have different opinions on a subject, right? That happens. And we're allowed to have our opinions. So my opinion is it could be beneficial for someone that needs a quick boost. Now, for somebody like your wife, for instance, let's take her case, right? Her situation, she's your wife, so she's going to be there long term. So that's going to be very beneficial for her long term because you're not going to remove her, right? But when it comes to the selling of trade lines, for somebody that, let's say they need to get an apartment and they don't have the credit, but they have the money and they have the income, it could be a great boost because like, let's say you put them in your car that you've had it for like 8+ year, 10+ year, whatever it is, and it has a really hefty credit line in it, then it could be very beneficial because that could be an automatic in 1 month, 20 boosts, 30 boosts, however many points it's going to be. But that's where it's beneficial. Other than that, when you remove that person, those points and that history is going to be gone with that removal as well. So really, it is a temporary fix. And it could be, again, beneficial, somebody that needs it in the moment. But for long term, it doesn't work. Your best bet, if you have a long-term goal, is to really fix your credit and fix those issues that have going on and learn how to utilize your credit properly and how to maintain it. Because then also, like, if you fix it and then you don't really understand, then you could fall right back to the same trap.
Can I go to jail and can it hurt my credit score at all?
No, it's not legal. You could
It's
say
not what?
It's not illegal.
Okay.
Or legal.
My mom, she was like, no. I like, man, what do you know?
You're allowed to put whoever you want to as an authorized user. And you can't be fined for charging somebody for it either, right? This is the research that I did from Mr. Google, right? So from my research, what it basically says that you're allowed to put whoever you want on your credit. B, you could charge whoever you want, right? The only thing is on their end, because it doesn't belong to them, they could have an issue. Whereas like it's kind of unethical, whatever. But let's say like if somebody's gonna do this is gonna be my quick advice for them. Fine, you're gonna do it. This is how you do it smart and get your money's worth. Once you have established, you got that boost from that trade line, right? Take it to advantage. Work on whatever you need to work on. Give it whatever you need to work on, and utilize that boost to open your own accounts. And that's it. Then once that boost is gone, then you've at least had the opportunity to reach a certain level and have certain cards and certain lenders, but maintain it. Just like whoever's letting you buy it off of them has maintained it for however many years. Maintain it and be responsible of it. That's my opinion on it. I don't think it's bad. Like, I really, like I said, like if you're looking to rent and you need a boost for the month or whatever, and you're really not a bad guy, you just, you fell on hard times or whatever the case may be, and you need a little help, then why not use it? But go into it with the full notion that this is a quick fix, that it's not meant to be there forever, that those points that you're getting boosted for, they're not going to be there forever. Use that boost to get your own boost.
So just put me on to somebody that needs the line. But
I got you.
Can I use the business credit for a line?
I don't think you can.
Okay.
No, because different statistics on it. Now, so this is what you can do, right? You can actually add authorized user for business purposes, right? Like let's say you own a restaurant and your chef that's in the restaurant, you have to give them a line to buy the products and stuff, but it doesn't affect them, their business credit, because they don't have a business credit, because your business credit is geared towards your business. So it's very different. So you can add authorized users, but it doesn't do any type of boost or anything like that.
Oh, so it's okay. All right, cool.
But for the purposes of like running and functioning an actual business, you can hand somebody a credit card with their own name on it and for them to utilize.
Should I get the Amex business card?
Absolutely.
For my LLC? Okay.
Just have a plan though. What do you plan to do with it? What's your intention? Because what's the point of having like a nice, beautiful car there sitting there and this big credit line?
I got one in North Carolina. It just said, yeah.
Don't do it. No.
Yeah, no, I feel, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's why I'm still, still teetering. But
yeah,
my credit card questions was answered. And if there's any like closing comments that you want to tell the viewers out there, the Wave Mob, somebody might need some credit boost.
My people that are actually want to do it themselves, because I offer the services to do it for you, so that for people that don't have the time, that don't really want to get into it, but for the people that want to do it themselves, they want to learn, I'm going to be offering a DIY or do it yourself, options as well, which I think is phenomenal. Like for you to be able to sit there and understand the process, I feel like you fall in love with it a lot more, you respect it a lot more. And then you're able to, because you worked on it yourself, then you're able to maintain it long term. So whatever works for you, I'm here for you. And I want to see you win. And there's no reason why, I keep saying this, but there's no reason why 2022, anybody has bad credit, like at all. Yeah. We're going to leave that back in 2020. We're moving on to 2022 with bigger and better things, okay?
I'm going to definitely keep in contact with you. But we definitely have some DR conversations that could probably lead to something else. You're talking about the whole real estate down there. Like, hell, we can kill two birds with one stone. I'm all about it.
It's definitely booming. So, and we have to get a head start on it. Like,
and I'm definitely serious.
Yeah, my company, I'm part of EXP, and they actually have a development right now. They're partnering with a development in Punta Cana. And this is like, for celebrities, for the baseball players, for like the ball players, like the people, because they're not that bad, but they're luxury, right? So they're like in the 400,000, 450, like that type of thing. So there is a ton of opportunity in real estate in DR, like buying land, buying land, letting it sit there and let it acquire wealth if you wanted to, like if you really don't know what to do with your money. Like there's so many different ways why we shouldn't be spending and splurging all our money in
clothes, jewelry, all that other bullshit that don't mean shit after you buy it.
And if you do, be like Mr. Wavy over here and use those cards where you're getting points back, you know what I'm saying? Buy those flights with that. But with that said, I appreciate you so much for taking the time to do this, for allowing your platform to bring this amazing information that people need to hear, and for giving me your time. Man, I'm so proud of you and what you've done, and your family is so beautiful, and I hope you guys are very, very blessed, and you're fruitful, and you're very, very happy. So thank you so much for this.
Appreciate it. And thank for everybody that tuned in to Peep the Game, not Peep the Hoes, it's Peep the Game.
Ay, y mi gente latina habla español también, okay?
See you on a see.
I love that. All right, you take care.